I can't even see past my iPad due to the fact that I didn't bring my glasses in here, but that's fine.
Oh, you're getting that old?
Yeah. Just had a birthday, man.
Increase the font a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what started like the, you're getting old when your battery or your
Batteries
phone,
are dead, yeah.
your batteries are dead. You got no power. But your phone screen started just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
The font too.
I remember I had was it T-Mobile or something? It was called the Sidekick. And this thing was small, man, and you just flipped it with your thumbs, and this QWERTY keyboard popped out. That phone was pretty cool, but it had like this super small screen on it. I mean, it was plenty. It was fine with that 1010 vision we had back then, And then it gets a little worse, You start out with the iPhone, and after iPhone 3, you're like, man, can't see. Wish they'd Steve Jobs makes a little bigger one. Oh man, it don't fit in my pocket anymore, but at least I can read it. And now they're like 18 inches. You got iPads in your pocket and still can't see.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just everything.
Dude, thank goodness for LASIK surgery. I've had it done in both my eyes. I can see pretty good now.
I do not even qualify for it. So they just said when you go blind, you go blind.
Why don't you qualify for it?
I guess because of what's wrong with my eyes.
Oh, you got a defection or something?
Yeah, it's way defunct. What are we drinking, by the way?
We are drinking some bourbon.
Exactly.
Oh, you know what? I like this. It's back on the podcast. We've had it here before.
Yep.
The Bib and Tucker. It's a 6-year-old and 92 proof. But I like Bib and Tucker. The last time we drank, I don't know if my taste buds have matured or fallen off or whatever, but I think
it's definitely aged.
It's now, that's now 6.5 years old. It might be 7 years old.
That's exactly it.
Nothing but a finest. But anyway,
you know how many?
I'm gonna go in for a sweet.
How many corked bourbons are in there?
Not good cobwebs out.
So.
Oh man, I brushed my teeth with that too. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Hell no.
No, I
wouldn't even put it in my cereal.
That's good. Ooh, Fruity Pebbles and Bib and Tucker. Yeah.
No.
That's crazy talk.
No. Well, Billy Summer is upon us. It's getting a little toasty outside here in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
A little humid, a little warm. But yeah, so anyways, it's taken a while to get set up in here. Since the last podcast, the room has been painted, repurposed, and updated. We got a new camera, another camera.
Yep. We got all kinds of angles on the dangles.
Got some new furniture.
Hey over there. Hey over there.
I'm just worried about that.
Maybe say hey over there.
Yeah, I just worried about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, we got new furniture and all kinds of stuff. So
can't see it, but it's real nice.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can catch the corner of it out of this camera.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Anyways,
we got grass growing in here now. Think you can make what kind of grass is that?
Fake. Decoration, fake grass.
Don't
try to smoke that. You probably die.
No, don't hippies grow that stuff in their apartments and they cut it and make some kind of tea or some kind of crap with it. What's that grass called? What is that? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that one's called fake.
Well, that one's fake. Yeah, that's not the one. It'll hit me here in a moment and I'll be like, yeah, that's tough. But anyway.
Some kind of herb.
I got my notes updated.
Again.
Yeah, thank you, iCloud and the Webernets. It was all my fault. It's not Tim Cook's problem. But anyway, I'll blame it on him. Remember that time he blamed it on us? Remember Tim Cook did that?
Everything's always.
You don't remember that?
No.
The phone was dropping calls and this is probably the iPhone 2, iPhone 9 or iPhone 10. And Apple came out and said, you're holding it wrong. It was when they started putting you have the LTE bands, the little black lines that are around the side of it. Those are actually antenna bands. And they said, when you're holding your phone, you're holding it wrong because you're
How about they
blocking
put the
band.
crap in the wrong place?
Yeah, and I was like, bro, you can't tell me I'm holding my phone wrong. I just paid $1,400 for it. I'm going to hold it like I want to hold it. You better make it work.
Yeah, exactly. You put the bands in the wrong place.
Yeah, and they figured it out on the next iPhone, but it was funny. They actually put out a statement, you're holding it wrong.
Well, that's not the first time I've heard that comment.
No, that's why people don't catch fish. You're doing it wrong. You ain't doing it right. You got to hold your mouth right. What are you doing? That poor guy I was watching yesterday or the other day coming into your neighborhood.
Oh, the guy fishing.
Yeah. It was killing me, man, but he had his 2 kids there. I wasn't going to stop and tell him he was doing it wrong, but he was doing it wrong.
He was doing it wrong.
I am not a freshwater fish. Now, my brother, Justin, can catch freshwater fish, but he's not very good saltwater.
I like freshwater fishing.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, when it comes to grass growing or paint drying or something like that, I mean, it's all right. But I mean, catching crappie. I mean, the fish is called a crappie. How much fun is crap fishing?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Bass fishing.
I mean, largemouth. I mean, it is what it is.
It's
I don't know. I like saltwater fishing. I know what I'm doing.
Freshwater catfish.
Yeah, they're okay. I'm not good with artificial lures. I'm a dead bait, live bait kind of guy.
Worms.
And you get
crickets, grasshoppers.
Yeah, I know, but that artificial lure, I don't know anything about it. I picked the wrong one. Nothing's biting. Everybody in the boat's catching fish except me. So hand me a natty light.
It was because you washed your hands with some kind of stupid soap, and that scent is on the bait.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Or you put gas in the boat and you got it all over your hands and you touch the bait.
Now I'm touching the baits and the fish are swimming out going,
and then people,
I'll go get this one.
I'll get the gas off my hands and I'll use all this soap and detergent. And now you're putting that on the bait. And again, the fish are like,
Man, you seen the guy catching fish offshore with Oscar Mayer Wiener hot dogs?
No.
Dropping them down 80 feet and just tearing the snapper's ass. Oh, man. Hot dog fishing. That's good.
Well, it's better than, what is it, noodling, where they're going into the shallow water, sticking their hands in the ground and just pulling up these big-ass catfish?
I don't want to say I've got respect for people that do that because I actually feel sorry for them because I just think it's dumb for you to go into some muddy, murky-ass Cape Fear River bullshit and crawl up underneath a log and just start ramming your fist in holes. And you let it latch onto your arm all the way up to the elbow, and then you pull it out.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. What kind of fishing is that?
It's called noodling.
Noodling.
So in Florida, you don't ram your hand underneath logs and stuff. You're either going to find a gator or find the dead body that it stuffed up underneath the log. But in North Carolina, yeah, man, they do.
Well, they're big in Louisiana.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I see them. They start out with their feet, right? They got their old jiffy feet ramming up underneath logs and saying, "Oh, I feel something." Well, what'd you feel? What did that feel like? Did you feel like what? What did
So what it is?
So now let's investigate. Let's hold our breath, turn our natty light hat around backwards, and ram our arm up underneath a log. And I got him.
So what's happened is one set of rednecks are trying to upscale another set because how many times you've been out to Steenhatchee clamming? You're walking around feeling clams with your feet, and then you're trying to reach down there and pull the clams out of the mud.
Man, that's a whole different situation. It's nice, clean, tall grass. It's clear water. So yeah, man, I'll dig my toes around. Oh, I found one. And go down there and get it. And by the way, if anybody finds my watch, I lost a watch out in Steenhatchee. So just send that to Billy. It's the Bourbon Tucker podcast.
So those Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi rednecks said, "We're going to one up you. We're going to stick our whole hand down there and come up with a damn catfish."
Right. And don't get us
I
wrong.
mean, we come
we're
up
not
with-
talking bad about rednecks because we're a different level of redneck as well. So, but there's rednecks and then there's
rednecks.
noodling rednecks.
Oh, there's some even
Yeah,
above
they're
that
just-
one.
So, what's funny is what's those people in like Maine, they got rednecks up there, right? And I'm like, man, once they start selling sweet tea, you don't have rednecks. Oh yeah, we do.
If they don't sell sweet tea, they don't have rednecks.
No, they're talking about up in Maine.
I know,
Maine rednecks. I was like, y'all got rednecks up here? Oh yeah, we got just like y'all have in the South. They're the same, but they just talk a little funny.
They eat lobster.
Yeah, same caliber person.
They just eat lobster.
Yeah, they're good. You know, most of them are good people. Except the, you know, everybody's got their thing. But anyway. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to start with your thing. Only because I just recently been doing a lot of pre-check. So, you know, TSA's got the new pre-check out now called touchless ID. So you just kind of walk up and
that's new. You told me
you
about that
scan
today.
your eyes and you just walk right through. You don't even have to deal with TSA.
So it's like a Minority Report, just retinal scan, facial recognition thing,
much.
and you just, excuse me, and you just blow right through the gate.
Yeah,
huh?
it's the same thing as with going with a TSA agent, but he takes your ID and puts it in. You still look in the little camera thing.
Can you
but,
still request a pat down if you want one?
I'm sure if you show your ass, they will.
Right. I mean, you know,
But yeah, it's a lot easier. I mean, you just kind of show your face, go through, and you don't have to stand in that long line behind you.
I mean, you pay so much for a plane ticket, might as well get a massage.
One would think. But yeah, they've got the new version, touchless ID, TSA Pre-Check. So
Well, what started this was, which one of my links is this? Is it the second link?
Last one, the bottom.
Oh, it's the last. Oh, the one that says TSA Pre-Check.
yeah, that one. I could be wrong. Normally am.
So I just saw this video. I'm gonna play it right here so you guys can see what we watched as well. So here we
TSA
go.
have also
Hang on, I got to restart it or
waived a very
refresh it or
important
something.
right.
Hang on. Here we go.
on at Real KA Hall that people who've signed up for the speedier passage through TSA have also waived a very important right. What have they signed away?
So when individuals enroll in TSA Pre-Check or Global Entry, they actually sign a release granting the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI unrestricted, warrantless access to all their personal data, health records, physical, mental, social media, communications, court history, anything they
Good.
want.
Maybe they can
they have access
translate it to me,
indefinitely.
'cause I don't know
and
what I
this
got.
sweeping surrender of privacy is in the fine print few people ever really read. So the people end up giving up their permanent rights or their rights permanently for the convenience of maybe a little bit faster time in line.
And that's how they get you, right? So this utter convenience, you know, that this is kind of how I think the mark of the beast is going to work, right? You know, it's so convenient
All right.
that everybody just goes right into it. But the TSA got this idea from Disney.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
So
You heard about the lady that died at Disney Springs, right? She had the allergy. They told her about the allergy. The lady's eating her lunch and just boom, just dies right there. And so the husband does a lawsuit against Disney. They get to court, and then Discovery, they're like, well, you know, you've already signed that, you know, you can't sue Disney in any way, shape, or form for blah, 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 blah. And he's like, what are you talking about? I haven't signed anything. Well, actually, sir, in 2019, you signed up for the Disney Plus TV app, and inside the fine print of that is
Terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions that under no circumstances ever were you sued Walt Disney. So TSA just kind of slid that in on us too, I guess.
Well, again, it's the government. They already have most of all our stuff anyway. So if you ever served, they've got your stuff. It's just the people that didn't serve or never worked with the government
I worry about it a little bit, but then, you know, I was a service member with a top security clearance. They know everything about me. And once you're in, you're probably never really out all the way and this, that, and the other. So I get it. And I used to have a friend, a Canadian friend, that would argue the fact, well, if you don't have anything to hide, that's not the point. The point is a relative expectation of privacy, and the deep state just being, but they're doing it anyway, right?
It's more or less in your home.
And
That's
they
your
all,
personal
and they
life.
all, if the FBI, if a 3-letter agency is doing a case against you, once they come in the door, they've got everything on you already. They
Right.
don't send out the armored vehicle until they know they can win a prosecution against you. So they already got all the data. And then once they get the data and they realize, okay, we can get this guy on it, then they go get the warrant for the data that they already got. Right?
This sounds familiar. Diddy.
Yeah, right. Right. So once they kick your door down, you've already lost the court case, right?
Yeah, it's
They're
pretty sure they got a
They're
lot.
pretty-
They got a solid case. when
yeah,
kicking
they're
it.
99.9%
Well,
on you.
so let's go back to again the service we went to yesterday, and they were talking about the incident where the 3 cops,
The taser, the
they
taser
tased
story.
the
We won't
taser.
get into it, but yeah, it's a taser story.
It's like,
yeah.
okay, there's a lawsuit right there. I was just coming. Oh, Laura and I were talking about that last night. It's like, well, somebody's got grounds for a case.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, it was kind of the wrong guy. And the right guy's over there packing very quickly. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's all,
That was a funny story anyway. But
it's,
not our funny story to tell.
no, it's not, but it's hilarious. Gosh, how to tell the story generically, but still get to the punchline.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Here, generically, allegedly, they are
So there was,
relocating
There were
some
3
inmates
law enforcement officers that went in to
at this
relocate.
random county in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were over capacity. So they were relocating several inmates to another county, another facility, who they said the food was really bad there. So nobody wanted to go. So they go in to move this guy, and they're like, you pack your bag, get your stuff in. And they're supposed to be loading all their stuff up to go. And the guy's like, it's not me. I'm not on the list. And all 3 deputies who just got their new tasers, and they had just went through class on how to use it.
The first time they used it.
3 of them fired and hit the same dude with a taser and lit him up.
And he's pulling them out.
And he's pulling him up. I'm not the guy. I'm not on the list. And they're just lighting him up.
Wrong guy.
Meanwhile, the correct guy is seeing all this happen, and he's quietly just loading all his stuff in the bag real quick. And when they get done, they're like, "Oh, this is the wrong guy. I told you I wasn't on the list." And the other guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's.
I'll meet you in the car."
Yeah, all packed up, ready to go, boss." So, but yeah, I would, maybe somebody went to court over that. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I would have. I'd been like out in 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
But so you have an expectation of privacy, right? And 3-letter agencies minus the FBI shouldn't be operating on, U.S. soil and spying on Americans and this, that, and the other. But, I mean, how much is enough, for, what all do they have to know to realize when you walk up and just do a facial scan? Oh, that's Jimbo Bob, and we watch him daily. So we know that he is not a shoe bomber and about to bring box cutters. And
so, I mean,
it's a lot of trust.
Well, at the end of the day, they're keeping more tabs on the criminals. And all of a sudden, our name pops up in their feed because of all this other stuff we've already signed up for, TSA, Disney Plus, and everything else. And it's like, okay, why is Jimmy's name popping up in Abdullah's feed here?
Yeah.
Abdullah, what do you, now they're trying to connect the dots,
I guess. Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting.
It's
just one more encroachment, right? Once they take an inch, they take a mile, and you can't get that back. Once you've lost it, right? It's gone. You know, it's hard to can't reel back in the dragnet.
So you
as
think the
easy as-
3-letter agencies are watching our podcast? If so, please subscribe. Right,
Yeah,
right
and
here.
click the notification
here.
bell for when we
Yeah.
put out. We don't want you guys to miss an episode.
Yeah, we may talk something you
Yeah.
may want to know. I
Right.
mean, obviously, you don't know everything.
If you're going to spy
If you're
on us,
gonna-
you might as well.
Yeah, if you're going to hit me on
sign
Disney
up.
Plus, you don't know everything.
Yeah,
So, anyways, yeah. So,
yeah. You should see what I do on OnlyFeets.
you know what? It sucks though. Is the 3-letter agencies that should be watching this, like MGM and everything, they're not.
Yeah. What's y'all's problem?
What's y'all's problem? I don't care about FBI, DEA, DIA, and CIA. Hey, MGM.
Yeah.
Hey, watch here.
Speaking of I didn't know we had so many government agencies. I guess if you ask an average person, hey man, how many overall government agencies do you think the United States has? And you'd probably attempt to be silly and go, man, there's probably 180.
I'm thinking thousands.
The DOT, the CIA, the TSA, the FBI, the NSA, so you just start naming.
EPA.
And so you can come up with 10 in your head, Department of Energy, Department of Education. All right, man, now I'm at 12. Okay, there's probably 100. There's 462 agencies in the United States. What?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's talking about oversight.
460 some odd different agencies. That's absolutely ludicrous.
Now they're all not law enforcement, though.
They're not. They're
different.
Government agencies, whether they do.
Yeah. TV time. I want to deal with this rowdy fan.
No problem. Banish him. Grab a fistful of Ghirardellis. So, they got this doggy cartoon or something everybody's putting on their TV for their dogs, but it's in these weird bright.
Goofy?
No, it's it's some dumb name, but it's in these weird pastel or odd colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole cartoon is, and then your dog can actually see it. So I think there was an argument that dogs don't see in color, but they actually do, but it's only a certain spectrum or something. And this whole cartoon's done in a dog spectrum. And when you turn the TV on, they're like, what is it? What is that? But I know my dog can watch TV because we watch Bigfoot documentaries together. And he also likes gray wolf documentaries, Yellowstone wolf documentaries. But he likes Bigfoots. He watches Bigfoots a lot. Anyway. Yeah, so, but yeah, you're very surprised when you find out how many government agencies they are. And, what's Ronald Reagan's quote? One of the scariest things you ever want to hear
The
is
3 words you don't want to.
I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
Yeah.
And just over our 250 years of being a country, I guess we've added 2 or 3 agencies every year, and it's kind of out of control. So there's a large avenue of waste.
So
and
I know after 9/11, we added a whole department with agencies in it, such as Homeland Security, and them throwing TSA was a new.
yeah, so
agency.
they'll
So you
create departments, and underneath those departments, we got
Create
about
some new
6 agencies. in
Yeah,
there.
exactly. It's like,
And I still wonder why the Postal Service needs so much ammo. Anyway, man.
and the IRS.
Yeah. Hey, yesterday was Monday. I didn't get my mail. Don't you worry about it. Like, hey, okay, man. Not a problem.
Gosh, and I went to and I told you I went to the post office yesterday, and the lady had such an attitude. Dude, I'm not even going into it, but
Yeah, that was a little,
at the end of the day, the Postal Service needs some reform. And I know they're trying to reshape the post office.
And this ain't the first time. About 10 years ago, this came
Yeah,
up too.
it's-
Your
it's trying
stamps are
to-
about to be 39 cents because they can't afford to drive the trucks. So we're going to do some reform. And then you didn't hear anything. And so they're, and it's probably a daunting bit, orchestration, right? Just think about all the junk mail you get. You're one person.
Oh God,
You know, and it's
I
just-
mean,
get it.
literally,
I get it.
the mailbox is stuffed, and I come back with this bag full of mail,
Yeah, and it's just
and there might be 4 pieces of legitimate mail and like 90 pieces of crap,
right.
and it's like, why? I almost.
All I get is letters from the VA. That's all I get.
Well, again, 4 like legit, but I mean, it's like, my banking and my payments, my bill pay, everything's online except, I tell you, everything's online except for my garbage. For some reason, I still have to mail a check to the garbage company. You
dude, you're
cannot
in a
sign up for
stone
it
age.
online. Yeah, exactly.
A check. I haven't written a check. I can't tell you last time I wrote a check. 9 years? I don't know. Maybe I got a checkbook at home somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
Well, I actually had to reorder checks. So yeah, but again, it's still at the old
How much
address.
them cost?
I don't know. But again, it's like the garbage company, Waste Management, does not do online bill paying. So that's the one a month. I got to write a check, put a stamp on it, so let's go back
That's
to
it. Oh no, that's not who we got.
go to I don't even have Waste Management. I have the other one, Meridian. So like the penny costs what, 13 cents to make or something like that?
No, I think it's like 7. It's something stupid, but it's not that
Well, how much
high.
is how much does it cost to make a 39-cent stamp?
I don't think I made that number up. I don't think they're that high, but they're made out of paper and ink, so they're
And
probably super. A stamp is probably 0.001 cent, right? So yeah, they're virtually free. But a penny, we do need to find a way to get rid of. And when I say get rid of the penny, I don't mean automatically round up to the next 5. Let's try to round down a little bit, But why we always got to round up? But the penny, I'm pretty sure, cost more than a nickel to make. How much does it cost the Treasury Department to make a penny? Okay, so it's just shy of 4 cents. It's $3, 3.69 cents to make a penny. So that tells you don't make those because they're not, and they're not even made out of copper anymore, right? Every coin you have is a load. Right, so it's a cheap metal disc with a fine layer of copper, nickel, silver. They don't make solid coins anymore.
Letter stamps, standard size, 73 cents. That's what it says right here on the
What are you
list.
talking about?
To mail a letter.
Stamp is 73 cents.
That's what it says right here.
We got to shut that department down. I don't need no damn mail. If you can't email me, text me, or call me on the phone about it, I don't need it in my mailbox. Just send me a digital copy of whatever it is.
What the hell?
That can't be possible. U.S. Postal Service. Stamps.com. But that's not what I want. I don't want stamps.com.
Wow.
Shop stamps.
Just put in postal stamp cost.
Bro, stamps are 73 cents a piece. I know you just told me that.
I just told everybody that.
You can be an absolute expert, but until I see it actually on TV, I don't believe you. Hey, I saw that in the episode of Sopranos. I've been telling you about it for years. You're like, well, yeah, but now I know it's true. A stamp is 73 cents.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell, man? That's nuts. The last time I bought a stamp, it was 19 cents for a stamp. And I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. No, I'm like, I am.
And it probably takes you 2 stamps to mail a letter because they got other problems, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
You know,
I'm
well, yeah,
I'm floored at the price of a stamp. I guess I'm so out of touch.
Look,
I didn't
man,
realize.
yeah. So, like I was telling you yesterday, someone gave a stat. Gas is cheaper today than it was 14 years ago. And I'm like, bullshit. Gas is what we just paid for gas, $3.05, $3.15 a gallon, something like that. Yeah, we're close. So I'm gonna say $3.05 a gallon right now where we're in Northeast Florida. And I was like, no, because when Trump was about to leave office, gas was $1.49 a gallon. So whatever stat they're talking about, that's not right. It's not the cheapest. However, they are correct. When Trump was president, your dollar has actually dropped 50% in value just in 8 years. So yes, gas is around $1.49 a gallon, but the value of your dollar is worth 50% of what it was. That's not the price of gas. That's inflation altogether. Mm-hmm. That's them printing pallets of cash and flooding the market with dollars. Your dollar is now worthless. And all you got to do is go back to Walmart.com where you ordered groceries about 4 or 5 years ago and just hit reorder on one of your last orders. Your last order was $149. Today it's going to be $370 to get the same stuff. Your dollar is worth half as much. So it's damn sad.
I agree with that.
You know when times was really good?
The 80s?
You're going to be shocked when I say this. When Bill Clinton was president. Dude, I felt like I had tons of money.
That was actually the first time reality TV came into play because, yeah.
But the dollar was, and we were bitching about it then, but the dollar was great. You can get 3 pieces of candy for 5 cents back in the day. But anyway, so we're all doomed. They're just trying to crush the dollar so they can come up with their own Bitcoin. Treasury Department.
Well, you know that's going to happen before the end of Trump's term.
Yeah, I mean they're all pushing for it.
They're all pushing for it, yeah.
And I mean, I was into crypto pretty big a few years ago. I'm out of all that stuff now, but lost my ass. But you just don't. Not everybody's got a cell phone, you know. What about the, indigenous people of Australia and Africa and South and Central America and, I don't know. Not everything can be digital yet, but I guess they're moving to that.
It's the plan. And then if you can't get on Wi-Fi, you can't.
Yeah.
You're kind of hosed.
Yeah. That's okay. Trump or Elon is going to just beam Starlink down to us. So I can't do phone calls on it yet. But if you don't have a signal, it just automatically hooks right to a satellite and you bloop, just send a text anywhere.
If you think you're being tracked now, wait till then.
Oh yeah, they got what was that thing, man?
They'll have every movement you ever made by
They already
inches,
got it.
by inches.
I just found it not long ago. Professor Simon on YouTube was talking about this technology that they have. So from satellites in space, they zoom right down. You've heard the old myth, they can read the tag on your car and read the paper that you're reading on a park bench. Yeah, they can. They can see that good from space. And they're watching all these cars drive around, right? And all these cars have little boxes on them. And so you're thinking, oh, it's tracking the car. That's just the motion tracking up. Nope. It's tracking the individual in the car, right? They know who that person is, all from the metadata from their cell phone. They're tracking that, and they watch you, right? The AI algorithmic software is watching. Okay, every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, this guy leaves this point, home base, drives this route, goes to work, sits there for 8 hours, gets in his car, comes back home. So that route is green, right? Because this is where Billy Bob drives every day, Monday through Friday. So it's got his green route. Well, for whatever reason, at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, he leaves B and runs way over here to D somewhere and comes back. That created a red track, right? This is out of the norm. So the AI has identified this guy just did something that he normally does not do, right? Someone gets murdered there. Guess what? You're automatically a suspect because I'm telling you, this is how Terry and I was watching this documentary on how they started finding bodies of women of the night and transients out in the desert, right? They started finding like 6 or 7 bodies, and they're like, well, they have to find suspects, and they're thinking it might be a truck driver or this, that, and the other. And at the beginning of the investigation, one of these FBI agents says, well, our primary suspect is in Massachusetts. He traveled. Like, how do you know that? How are you already pinged a guy in Massachusetts for dead bodies in Arizona? Dude, if you do something out of the norm, they're tracking you and you are flagged, right? So if something is happening there, a bank robbery, a murder, or this, that, and the other, you're one of the suspects in this algorithmic software that did something out of the norm. Or they keep watching this one track go to the train station, right? And all of a sudden they find a bunch of dead bodies or something that this one's finding. They already know who you are.
Well, you remember the Idaho students that were killed?
The Culpeper, yeah.
So that's how they tracked that guy and knew he was there. They had his cell phone all the way around, and they knew who he was like an hour. They knew who it was like an hour afterwards.
I don't want to tell you how to commit crimes, but take your Apple Watch off and leave your phone at the house if you ever go do something. Yeah. What are you doing?
You're kind of screwed too because your car can be tracked unless you get a 1970
get that
Pinto.
69 Camaro.
Yeah, go get a 1970 Pinto. It has no electronics in it. AM radio.
Yeah. But yeah, if you can imagine it, they've been doing it for 10 years. And I know you've heard people say that they're leaps and bounds over, what you think that they can actually do. It's incredible.
It's ludicrous. It's crazy.
We thought Enemy of the State with Will Smith was like a crazy, crazy movie. Yeah.
It was actually a decent movie, but then I don't like Will Smith anymore.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, you go slap Chris Rock, really.
Turd ball.
Yeah, what an idiot. But, but at the end of the day, they track, they know every movement. And again, you got criminals that are going to leave your phone and watch and everything at the house, but at the end of the day, you did push record, right?
Yeah.
So the new cars are all computer based too. They're being tracked. I mean, truck, my Ram truck. I mean, Ram's tracking my truck, dude. You're coming up on an oil change. I mean, they're telling me when to get the oil changed.
Oh, yeah. It'll be like Minority Report one day. There's a warrant out for your arrest. The doors just lock and it just takes you right to the jail.
Yeah, your car self-driving. I didn't buy a self-driving car. Well, it is now.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Pretty crazy.
Is that going to cost me extra?
That's awesome.
Damn. We haven't even gotten to your other topics. We haven't gotten past TSA yet.
Yeah, we can save them for another one. We're at 47 minutes, so I'm okay with that.
Your call. I mean, talk about rabbit holes.
Before we have a problem with a camera, everything's working great. So I say we ended on a good note.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
All right, good buddy.
So is that where you want to just leave it? Minority Report, lock you
Yeah.
up and take you to jail. That's
Yeah.
how you want to leave this.
Yeah. I just think that we're going to succumb to all these things for convenience. And that's the easy way. That's the easy way. But the next big thing they've been prepping us for, and we'll talk about it on the next podcast, is what's going to happen in 2027.
Okay, give me a clue.
The government is going to tell you there's a large spacecraft on the way.
Oh,
They've been prepping us for it. That's terrifying. We hope you guys enjoyed this.
I think
this
that's
episode.
how we ended the last one, and we took so long to get back in the room. Anyways,
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
yeah, appreciate it. You guys have a great week. Thanks for joining, and subscribe here, or here, wherever.
Yeah, man. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell.
That's it.
The algorithms, they're shadow banning It's the Bourbon Talking podcast because we talk about controversial stuff. Never talk about I almost said this name. The one that got elected in Italy like a couple of weeks ago. Don't talk about him on YouTube. They shadow ban you. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time out here.
Out.